T-Mobile's unlimited plan costs $95 per month for a smaller network, plus monthly taxes and fees. It's enough to wreck your day. Cricket's unlimited plan gives you a bigger network for $25 less per month, with monthly taxes and fees included. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
Download speeds max of 8 megabits per second LTE and 4 megabits per second 4G. Price comparison based on one smartphone line with unlimited plan. Mobile hotspot not available. Activation, other fees and restrictions apply. Coverage not available everywhere. Terms, features, and restrictions subject to change. See store for details.
Blog Talk Radio.
I'm Gabriel Rich, and this is the Rich Report, broadcast live on the Ghetto Truth Magazine in stereo on Blog Talk Radio. Tonight, we're going to celebrate the life and music of Prince. So let's all purify ourselves in the waters of Lake Minnetonka and cherish the many memories Prince Rogers Nelson gave us. It happens now. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Rich Report. It's been a hell of a day, people. It's been a hell of a day. We decided to change course on our regularly scheduled show, which was going to be about black women and indigenous women in natural hair. But of course, unless you're living under a rock or maybe at the bottom of the ocean by now, you know that Prince Rogers Nelson has passed away today, and it's a tough one to take, to be honest with you. And I'm quite sure I'm not alone in it. I know I'm not alone. I've been getting a lot of feedback from a lot of people today, and even though this is a extremely sad moment that one of our music icons has left us, and we're never going to see him again. We're never going to hear new music from him again. You know, we're never going to see him perform live again. You know, we press on. So my show producer, Madam G, and I, we decided that we would change course and we would make this a tribute show to Prince, so that we all can kind of just bond and share and decompress and get over this, because it hit me like a ton of bricks, and I'm sure it did a lot of you too. And we're gonna get it together, and we're gonna purify ourselves in the waters of Lake Minnetonka, and remember Prince, and we're gonna share some Prince memories. We're gonna play some great music that Prince Rogers Nelson made. We're gonna talk about because he's the soundtrack to our lives, starting from 1978 to now. So for me, starting in teenage years, Prince has been the soundtrack, one of the major soundtracks to my life. I know he has with you. I've been on to this cat since Salt and Wet. You know what I mean? The first album. So we're gonna do that tonight. We're gonna get it together tonight, and we're gonna just share. I like for all of you who are Prince fans to call in 646-787-8474 and tell about your favorite Prince memory. Give me your favorite Prince song, and let's just talk. Let's share. In a little bit later on, Wade 3 will be on to also discuss Prince, and we'll break down musically the man, the genius, the legend, the icon. But as it stands right now, we're just I'm in shock. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm in shock. I'm in a loss for words, really. The wild part is I've been listening to Prince and the Minneapolis Sound all week. I was posting, some Minneapolis music on Prince influenced, Prince produced music on my page. I was thinking about adding some Prince songs on my show for the night, and then all of a sudden this hits, and I am thrown back. I really am. But Prince Rogers Nelson wouldn't want us to just sit around and just wail and complain and just be sad over his passing. He made too much music for us to get up to get down. So we're gonna discuss this. But I will say this. Okay, you're talking about a man. They say they found this guy dead, right? Found him dead, unresponsive this morning in his elevator at his home, right? Now, he's in his elevator and he's dead. Okay, we don't know what the cause is yet, but TMZ is reporting that he was treated for a drug overdose just 6 days before his death. All right, this is what TMZ is reporting. They said they basically they rushed him to the hospital, and doctors gave him a save shot, which was administered to counteract the effects of an opiate that he took. I don't know about that, but this is the report. I'm not surprised that this report is coming out. I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised by anything, to be honest with you, since Michael Jackson died. I'm not surprised about any news that they tell us. I'm not surprised about anything that they say. I do know for a fact that Prince was just about to come into the full masters of his music. Warner Brothers was scheduled to release it over. He had a new album coming out. He had a new book that was forthcoming. I don't see any reason. And he was a health fanatic. This man was almost fanatical about what he put into his body, what foods he ate. Never been one to be a big drugger. The whole deal, he never took drugs. We're not crazy. But certainly nothing that controlled Prince to a point that made him miss a gig or made him not make music. You're talking about a man who can produce an album in one night. So part of the reason why I'm sad is because I suspect foul play. I'm not even going to lie to you. I do. I suspected foul play with Michael Jackson. I suspected foul play with Whitney Houston. I suspected foul play with Don Cornelius, and I don't have any reason not to continue to suspect foul play for both. Actually, I pretty much know about the other aforementioned ones that I just talked about. So that's part of the reason why I'm sad. If Prince had been ill for the longest time. If Prince had been, in poor health and he passed, I could understand it. I could see it. But you're talking about a man who did a 2.5-hour show in Atlanta just a few days ago and, killed it. So I don't know. I do know that I'm going to miss him. I do know that I have a lot of his music. I don't have all of it, but I have a lot of it, and I'm going to be listening to it for the rest of my life. So, and I just, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. I'm still kind of just trying to get over it, to be honest with you, and I hope that we can just, for tonight, maybe just get over it together, because this is huge. This is huge. Okay, just consider this for a minute, okay? Consider. Okay, Prince's untimely passing today has thrown us all back, all right? The iconic singer, songwriter, producer, and musician has left a music void that is beyond measure and will be felt for years to come. Whether you are a deep Prince fan like me or just a casual one, this isn't up for discussion. Prince Rogers Nelson is arguably the greatest overall music talent the world has ever seen. Overall, and that means able to encompass all forms of music. He's arguably the greatest. And if he ain't the greatest, he's easily top 3. At worst, top 5. And we're talking about that the world has ever seen here. So, that's lofty. That's way lofty status. All right? Very few have had the ability to not only master multiple instruments to the point of being extraordinary, but also have the sublime singing ability that Prince had. And let's not talk about his songwriting skills. In an age where we try to make lesser artists like Beyonce appear uber talented, Prince was the genuine article. He was the brightest star in a galaxy of great talent, broad and defined strokes, influencing the music scene so much that other bands sought to copy his music and even his fashion style. But there was only one Prince, and you knew him instantly when you heard him, whether he was singing in the high falsetto of his considerable 3-octave vocal range in his early days or in the low tenor of his later years. And he did things his way. He cleverly gave you snippets of his over-sexualized music, complete with androgynous fashion and show-stopping performances. All right, Prince was able to basically sneak subtitles in on the radio at a time when it was taboo. Who else could get Head on? I don't think anybody else. And keep in mind, Head was a top 10 R&B hit. All right. A lot of white folks I know probably never heard of Prince until, most of the white people I know never heard of Prince until 1999. And a lot of black folks had probably never heard of him until 1999 either. But if you were into music at that time, late 70s, early 80s, and the music scene at that time was just popping. I mean, you're talking about great artists abound, great talent abound everywhere. Disco was dying out. Funk was still strong. R&B was still strong. Music was still strong. And Prince, you're talking about a guy who, started out opening up for, say, the Rolling Stones, opening up for Rick James. And in a few years, all of them knew that Prince would overtake them. They all knew it. His talent was just that he couldn't be denied. We could see it even back then. We could see it. And we rolled for Prince because, quite frankly, Prince was kind of like the anti-hero, if you will. He was not a good boy, and he was damn proud that he wasn't a good boy. He was the rude boy back then. As a matter of fact, he shook you up with his music. He basically delved into lyrics and topics that nobody else delved into, and nobody did it as clever as he did it. So it's just amazing to me that it's amazing to me going back and listening to the soundtrack, particularly from 78 on. I say 78 to about 88. Nobody, not even Michael Jackson, overall in the landscape. Sure, Mike was bigger. He was certainly bigger than Prince. Mike was bigger than everybody. Prince even understood this, all right? But we can't say he's more talented. He's a more talented entertainer, yes. And Mike was a considerably talented artist and doesn't get a lot of credit for it, his ability to play, all right? Because Mike could play instruments. He could write a damn good song. He could produce a damn good record. The best records actually on either Thriller or Off the Wall, Mike produced them. But in saying that, nobody outside of Sly Stone was as autonomous with their music as Prince was. Prince pretty much developed a sound. He pretty much put Minneapolis on the map. He gave us a Minneapolis sound that derived from several elements, from P-Funk to a little Hendrix influence thrown in, or some Sly thrown in, definitely. If you ever listen to Salt and Wet, that's certainly Sly Stone, and the Family Stone, I should say. I mean, he borrowed from everybody, and he made it his own. And let's not even talk about the stuff that he produced for other people during that time period that's just out of the stratosphere. Go back and listen to The Time, all right? Listen to Get It Up. Listen to that first album. Listen to Get It Up. Listen to Cool. Listen to all that's Prince. There was no time at that time, people. It was Prince and Mars Day. And Prince played every instrument like he did. How many times have you read the liner notes, all right, on the Prince album, and you saw what? Written, composed, arranged, and produced by Prince, all instruments played by Prince. How many artists today can do that? How many artists today can play 3 instruments and get away with it? And this is what we just lost. We just lost somebody who was so prodigiously gifted, so genius, that we can't even measure the loss. We're still measuring Michael Jackson's loss. So you know, and Prince had 3 times the material that Michael had, maybe 5 to 10 times considering what's in his vault. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Okay. All right, how many artists do you know of that would do a 2 to 3 hour concert and then turn around and do a post-show performance for another 2 hours? I got to see one of those. It was great. How many artists of this area you know that have changed the face of music? All right? See, this was Prince in his glory, the most prolific of all of his peers, certainly the most gifted, and he never, ever let it go to waste. Prince was the realization of Sly minus the drug habit. He had the musical discipline of James, the genius of Stevie, and the showmanship to hang in there with Michael. And now he's gone, and we're never going to see him again. And I just don't. Words can't describe the void I feel right now, knowing that we're never going to hear this man's music again. And we may never get to hear what's in his vault, because Prince had a ton of music in his vault that he never put out. So we may never get to hear that, barring any legal issues. Warner Brothers is going to try to get in there and swipe a lot of it. And I don't know what to say. I wish, I certainly like for you guys to call in and we can discuss, because it's all about Prince tonight. Prince Rogers Nelson, born June 7th, 1958, passed away today, April 21st, 2016. And in that span of time, he made music to last 10 lifetimes. And now he's gone. So it hurts, because our great ones are leaving us, particularly the ones who are leaving young. And that hurts. So, but we're going to bond. We're going to get it together. We're going to hang in there, and we are going to discuss Prince in detail in a bit. But right now, I just wanted to tell everyone. Okay, I want to give you guys a quick Prince moment for me. Okay, I saw Prince for the first time in Philadelphia at the Spectrum. It was the Purple Rain tour. It was Thanksgiving. It was around Thanksgiving, certainly around the holidays. And Prince came out and, Well, the first time I totally got to see him. I got to see him partially at Dorton Arena in about 19. But by the time I got in, he was about to get off the stage, so I didn't really get to totally see Prince. The first time I actually got to see him was in 1984, the Spectrum, Philadelphia. And he, by this time, Purple Rain, the movie's out. It's a hit. Purple Rain, the album is out. It's the album of the year. Everybody knew it was the album of the year. He pretty much, swept everything, the Grammys for the most part. And he got on stage and he played like he was just a newbie, really. He played on stage like he had something to prove. He really did. He absolutely just killed it. The show was only supposed to be for 2 hours. He went 3, right? So, and afterwards, I heard he basically went somewhere else to a night spot in Philly and did another 2 hours. Obviously I didn't get to see that one, but I got to see that later on, actually here in Raleigh. He actually did a after party show for about 2 hours, and I mean, I'm talking about he had just did, if I'm not mistaken, he had just played at either Dorton Arena or he played at back then it was called the Raleigh Sports and Entertainment Arena. I'm not sure if that was even up yet. I think it was, or being built, but it was either one of the two that he played in, and he did an after hours show that lasted until 2 a.m. That lasted until 2 a.m. That man had energy. I mean, that man had energy. Energy. All right, so we're going to go to break, and I'm going to play a tune for you guys. It's one of the B-sides, actually, off of the Around the World in a Day album. It's one of my favorite, actually. It's She's Always in My Hair. I think if you're going to have to forgive me here because I'm a little, I think She's Always in My Hair is the B-side to Raspberry Beret. But either way, it's a slamming-ass song. It certainly, this was when Prince was literally at his peak, and it's just badass. It's one of the B-sides I wanted you guys to check out. For all you Prince fans who've heard it, I know you know what I'm talking about. For all you haven't heard it, check it out. Let me know what you think. Listen to The Rich Report. We'll be right back. That was She's Always in My Hair by Prince, 1985, B-side, the B-side to Raspberry Beret. One of the baddest slept-on jams, actually, where I lived at when I was, living in North Carolina at the time. I was living in my hometown in Goldsboro. That used to make the radio. That one was so bad they used to play it on the radio. Pretty much like the same thing with Erotic City, another B-side, the B-side to Let's Go Crazy, actually off the Purple Rain album. Prince put a lot of B-sides out that actually became hits. That's the beauty of Prince. Nobody else could really do it like he did it. And that song is still one of my favorites. I actually was listening to it this week. Figured I'd pull it out, listen to it, and couldn't post it. You can't post Prince's. He has no videos on YouTube. He hasn't taken all down, so I could never post any Prince songs on YouTube. So this is the way that I have to go. I have to go back to my album collection and listen to his stuff, So I understood where he was coming from with that, but, to help a brother out, Prince would post it on the page. We were spreading the love, brother. We were spreading the love, but business is business, and I certainly understand that, and thank goodness that I have, quite a bit of his albums, quite a few of his albums, actually, and I can listen to him whenever I want to. Certainly will be doing it for some time to come right now. So, whoa. Anyway, want to say real quick that this show is sponsored by African Americans and Africans. I suggest and I urge all of you to check out the website AfricanAmericans.org. Check it out. Just open your mind, expand your mind. It's an alternative to what you've been told. So with that said, and for calling the line, I believe it is Buck Wylam, and want to bring Buck on. What's happening, Buck?
Man, I hear it in your voice.
Yeah, brother.
I hear it in your voice. Gabe, you normally going to get them. Man, I feel you, brother. I feel you.
Yeah, it's tough.
Oh, my God. But you know what? We're all in line.
Yeah.
Every single last one of us. And one thing that Prince taught us, he taught us how to win, man.
Yeah.
Musically, hands. I want to share the first and last time I saw Prince before we roll. But check this out.
Okay. Sure.
Prince was musically, he was off the hook. But it's what he did in his life, man, that, really taught us some things. The whole, especially what he had to go through with his record company and
exactly.
how he kept going.
Yeah.
How he kept smashing.
Yeah.
It didn't, no matter what they did to him, when he wrote Slave on his face.
Exactly.
He was talking to us, man. I remember that.
Exactly.
Keep going.
Yeah. He wouldn't even take his own name. He wouldn't even take his own name anymore because he didn't own it.
Yes, sir. So he taught us something that no matter what, keep pushing. It's no whining. No, I can't do it. Keep going. He taught us how to win.
Yeah.
Gabe, how much you think his catalog is worth?
$2 billion. That's the rough estimate, and that's a low estimate, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a low estimate.
Yeah.
That's a low estimate.
This is how I got the call because I woke up to it. So it's been on my mind all day because Prince was, like you said, he took over for the Jackson 5. When the Jacksons broke up, Prince came in and filled that void as far as music going.
Yeah.
The first time I saw Prince, man, I was like 16 years old. He came to the Coliseum in L.A.
Right.
Opened for the Rolling Stones. This was right before Dirty Mind. Boo!
Oh.
I mean, they booed, like you said, they didn't know who he was.
Right.
Like, you know how Prince dressed back in those days.
Right.
They booed him horribly. Man, Prince turned that mother out. By the end of the concert, you didn't hear that no more.
Exactly.
Prince, he was that bad.
Exactly.
The last time I saw him, right before I came down here to South, I took my daughters to see him, and they were like, Prince? I don't want to see no Prince. I'm like, check this out. You got to see this dude. Prince tore it up, man. he was doing 21. He was doing 21 shows in L.A. for 21 days straight for like $25. It's about 5 years. That's what I'm saying. The stuff he did business wise was, you know, look, the 12-inch singles he used to come up with that you're talking about.
Yeah.
How he did stuff business wise, man. He taught us, man. He taught us some things. I think the music, to me, sometimes the music was like a cover. Because Prince did some things in his life, man, and I think we should look at it. That'll really make us move forward, man, because he was a cold dude.
I agree. I mean, what he went through with Warner Brothers when they literally just they jibed him, really. You know, he didn't read the fine print. They caught him slipping. It would have broken most artists. They would have been broken behind it.
Yeah.
Yet he persevered, and he put out, even though, you know, he was just putting out music to fulfill his contractual obligation with these guys, it was still good music, but you knew it wasn't his top music. It was just stuff to fulfill the obligation so that he could win back, you know, his music, win back himself. You know what I mean? But he, like you said, he didn't complain about it. He didn't cry about it. He didn't whine about it. He just went on about his business of handling his business. And that's something that we can certainly all learn from, bro.
And you're talking about the vault that he had. I'm talking about the Private Joy, Housequake, 17 Days, Pop Life. You know, he put out these 12-inch singles, man, that was off the hook.
Off the hook, man.
So, you know, everybody, when you're looking up Prince, you're gonna see Prince in purple. He's gonna always be in purple. Purple is that, you know, that's our mind. That's up there around our mind. That's what we're thinking about. So think greatness. You know, use Prince as a a roadmap or I don't know, but use him as a guide.
Use him as a guide.
Yeah, and let me just close with this, man. And I know you might not remember this, Gabe. You might be a little too young for this. You're gonna have to fight your own damn war, 'cause we don't wanna fight no more. What album was that, Gabe?
Oh no, brother. No, brother. That's if I'm not mistaken, that's Controversy. If I'm not mistaken.
See, you're a little too young. That's Dirty Mind.
No, I'm just. It's in the Rude Boy stage. It's either Controversy or it's either Dirty Mind. It's either one of the two. So it's one of the two. Yeah.
At the end of Party Up. So look, man, you know.
Oh yeah. Hey, look, bro. People, let's see if you get this one. People call me rude. I wish we all were new. I wish we was on black or right. I wish there was no rules.
Yeah, man. That's Controversy.
Yes.
Yeah,
very
man.
much
So look, man. Let somebody else come on and share their thoughts, man. We gained something, you guys. I know it's gonna hurt for a minute, but that brother's the purple light at the end of the tunnel. So thanks for sharing tonight, Gabe. Thank you, brother.
And an indigenous brother. That book, contrary to popular belief, his mom wasn't Italian. His mom's indigenous. His father's indigenous.
Yeah.
That was just to sell a movie, you know, to gain popularity. You know, because you know that's just what it is with that. But he was an indigenous brother. You know, and they know that, and no disrespect against Africans, but for all you African Americans out there, I ain't never seen an African like Prince.
Never.
I ain't never seen that. I've never seen an African like Prince. I've seen an indigenous one like Prince. Sly Stone was Prince. Truth be told, if you really want to go there, and Prince he patterned himself after Sly, but I ain't never seen an African like Prince. I ain't never seen an African like Sly, like James. I ain't never seen an African like them cats. But that's another story for another day.
One more thing, Gabe. Check this out. You know what else was cold about him too? You know, he gets a lot of comparisons with Michael Jackson. But you know what? Prince was a cold dancer too.
He was.
You know, he wasn't. You know, he played all the instruments, and that's something that Michael didn't do. Didn't play all the instruments, but Prince could get down too. You know.
Yeah, Prince had some James in him. Prince had he had the performance acumen of James Brown. He had the music acumen of Sly Stone. He had the business acumen of Sam Cooke. You know, he was all of those guys pretty much, and he's the last of the old school type of our generation. He was one of the old school who pretty much had the old school values. Because after hip hop came on and music changed in the whole nine, Prince was one of those few guys that never felt threatened by it because he just changed his sound up. Anytime the sound, he would just change his own sound. You know, he would just change his own sound. So yeah, that speaks volumes about this man, and volumes about the legacy that he left. And I hope we pay attention.
Yeah, I think he can't go unnoticed. He can't go unnoticed.
No.
He was he was even out there during the Baltimore riots. When some of these young brothers was getting shot and killed. So he was a cat that can teach us all a lot. And so, like I said, if we just follow that light, man, we'll be cool.
Yeah, very much so. Very, an interesting tidbit for everybody. The whole Wheel of the World project, that they did. Actually, Prince was the one who came up with that idea, along with Michael Jackson. Prince came up with that idea, and Quincy, when he got involved, he shouldered and moved Prince out of it. Prince and Quincy never got along too much after that. And they were so eye to eye after that. Actually, Prince lost all respect for him, thought he was a kiss ass. But they they shoved Prince out of the way on that one, and they made it about Quincy, and they made it about Michael Jackson and the rest of the guys, and they made Prince an outsider of that clique that they were in, which is ultimately Prince gets the last laugh. I remember when they bought it back some 25 years or something after the fact, and they wanted Prince to sing along. This was during the Grammys, or it was one of American Music Awards, I think it was, or the Grammys, and Prince wouldn't sing. And Quincy's trying to hug him to get him to sing, and Prince is looking at him like, nigga, please.
That's why, what? I like that about him, too. He was one of them little defiant cats, He was that way, and I like that about him. I like that about him. Prince is cool, man. He's still here with us, man. We just got to keep humming them verses, man. We gonna be all right.
Exactly. He'll never leave us. He'll never leave us. He's got a legacy of music behind that can instruct and guide us. And if we basically pay attention, we can definitely improve on where we are now, brother. Ain't no doubt about that.
Yes, sir. So thanks, brother. Hey, keep it up, Gabe.
Will do, bro. Thanks for the call, Buck.
Yes.
All right. Now, that was some good conversation right there. And actually, he got me on that. I should know that. Yes, that is Dirty Mind off the Dirty Mind album. Good one, Buck. You got me. And I ain't too young, bro. I'm just a couple of years younger than you. I'm in my 50s, bro. Don't you forget it. The 50 Club, baby. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe my guest is on tonight. I want to bring on Wade 3 as a music artist, certainly a Prince connoisseur, if ever there was one. What's happening, Wade?
Hey, man, I am heartbroken. My purple heart is broken, man.
My purple heart's broken, bro. Purple heart's broken. And this ain't the one we get from Uncle Sam either.
No. Not that one. Not to disrespect those that got that one. That's not what I'm talking about.
But this ain't that hard.
This ain't that one. I'm just saying, Purple Yoda, man. I can't believe it.
Purple Yoda, that's a good one. That is a good one, man. So many nicknames for that cat. They used to call him P-Funk, because he was so funky. And I was thinking about Prince. The funny thing is, we've been playing some shows around, and we were putting together a Prince tribute show. Right.
And it had nothing to do with this because we didn't know that this was going to happen, and it just, but in putting this together and thinking about it, it's like Prince had a lot of different bands, and they all had distinct personalities.
True.
The records, especially the first 10 or more records were all completely different. He was so... he had that thing that Bowie had, and that, he would, and Miles, that he would set his sight on doing something else. Most artists, can paint with one color.
Exactly.
And they do that, and it's cool. But that's what they do. Prince was Technicolor in every direction. Prince was constantly reinventing himself, especially, like I say, those first 15, 20 years of his career, man. Every album was completely different. It wasn't like, the difference between 1999 and Purple Rain and Controversy before that and Dirty Mind before that. Unbelievable. People don't, the difference between two of Prince's records is so much deeper than what we get from entire careers now. And I'm,
very much so. Very much. Go
crazy.
back. I would suggest to anyone to go back and listen to Prince's first, say, 7 albums. Go back and listen to, For You. Go back and listen to Prince. Then go back and listen to Dirty Mind, Controversy, 1999, Purple Rain, Around the World in a Day, and none of them sound alike. There is no layover from none of them. There is no carryover from one album to the next, because most people get formulaic in their albums. Like you said, they can only paint with one color. Well, Prince was Technicolor and
going Under the Cherry Moon, Love Safety.
Right. Exactly.
It keeps
Sign of the
all
Times.
of those records. Exactly. None of those records are the same. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing because I can't even. I mean, the artist on. If you turn to pick a genre, but the times that we're in now, you got. There's 20 artists that sound more alike now than 2 Prince records. Of a certain genre, of a certain era. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that anymore. We compressed the diversity of music into these little tiny bite-sized morsels. And it makes us, I honestly think it makes us stupid in some way.
It does make us stupid. It dumbs us down.
It makes us stupid because, to me, music is about being rich and making us think, and Prince certainly did that because there's a lot of philosophy in his music, But beyond that, the colors, the musical textures, the rhythmic sounds. I mean, he introduced so many things. He brought over some new wave and punk vibe along with the funk.
Exactly.
We hadn't heard that. We hadn't even considered doing that.
Yeah.
Until Prince did it.
Prince did it.
And then he introduced drum machines again in a new way that we hadn't heard before.
And staccato beats.
He replaced real horns with synth horns, and then
synth horns,
came around again with real horns again later on in his career. But first, he introduced us to synth horns.
And not to mention the fact that he's one of the first to totally take the bass out of the music. Go listen to When Doves Cry. There's no bass in that song.
There's no bass in When Doves Cry, no bass in Kiss.
Right. None. There's no. He totally took the bass out of the music, and still it was funky. So that should tell you something right there, about Prince and just about how genius he was. Hey, real quick, we got a caller. Last 4 digits. I'm sorry, 9963. Caller 9963. Hello, you're on the air.
Hello.
Okay, hello.
Can you hear? Yeah. Can you hear me, Brother Gabe?
Sure can. How you doing, Sister Leslie?
Hello.
How you doing?
Brother Gabe, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sister. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. It's still rainy out here. The clouds, so the reception is not very. It's poor.
I hear you. Are you okay? Sister Leslie's in Houston. Everybody, you know what's going on in Houston right now. Are you okay?
Oh yeah, It's not. Everybody's alive. Everybody's breathing, and that's really all that I'm concerned about. But we got flooded out. We got like ankle deep water in the house, but some people had chest deep water.
True.
So everything's. But it's to put everything into perspective, everybody's breathing and 6 feet above.
I hear you.
So
I hear
no
you.
complaints. No complaints.
I hear you. What's on your mind, Sister Leslie?
Well, actually, I was ready to dig into the topic that you put on the marquee, but this situation deserves it takes precedence.
Yes,
it takes precedence.
It does.
For right now, in this current time, in its current moment. So I don't want I don't know what really to say. Someone called me on the phone and told me because I was at work and I just was a little bit thrown back, but
yes.
I know that we all are born to die, and blah blah blah, and all the cliches. But it's just I thought it was a rumor. I'm like, are you sure? Did you research it? Are you sure? And I found out that it's the real deal. He was a very private person, so whatever it was, if he was going through something before, whatever, he was professional, but he kept his private life private. You know,
Right.
he wasn't the one to gallivant like a plucked peacock only on stage.
Right.
You know, not in the street. You know what I mean?
True. Very much so.
But anyway, I'm going to miss him. I'm going to celebrate him like I celebrate all artists. But you know, I'm going to you know, I'm a big fan, you know, of rock music. You know, of Prince. You know, making rock funky and making it to where everybody can listen to it. But you know, I mean, what can you say? You know, I mean, it's just it's a bomb. Like, you know, it's like it's just
Very much
it just
so.
blew up in my face. You know.
Very much so.
But he left, you know, not even more than indelible, you know, impression, you know, upon, you know, me as a music lover, you know. But I just, I'm still taken aback. I'm still in shock of the whole situation. I'm still reeling. I'm sure as everybody, you know, everyone else is. You
Right.
know, so, but it's just tough to take. You know,
It is.
Purple
It
Rain
is.
was just on table not too long ago. You know, so I mean, it's just tough to take. You know, you see his videos, you see his show. You know, you see the footage. You know, rolling through, you know, social media. You know, and if you're a Prince fan, you know, you play some of his old stuff. I like his old stuff. You know, but he's missed. His you're talking about, you know, these megalomaniac, you know, a star is just, you know, gas on fire. You know,
right.
So you're talking about, you know, people naming themselves, you know, I'm a genius, I'm a genius, I'm a genius, I'm a genius. You ain't shit. You know, your genius will shine. Your genius will shine through. I mean, you ain't shit, really, honestly. Okay, you ain't shit. You know.
I hear you. Right on.
In the deposition, what's his name, brother who did Happy? The one who doesn't identify being black.
Pharrell.
Pharrell.
Yeah, in the deposition, you know, he's like, I'm a musician, you know, blah, 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 blah. So in a deposition with this whole Robin Thicke, you know, Robin Trick situation with Marvin Gaye, he was asked by a lawyer, you know, well, what note is this and what instrument is, can you read music and blah, blah, blah. Like the young people say, crickets. I say tumbleweeds. He can't read music. He's not a musician. I mean, you have to. It's a trip. You know, that ain't genius. Sorry, Kanye and the rest of them. I mean, honestly. So he didn't have to say, listen up, everybody. I'm a genius. I'm a musical genius.
That's the thing. Prince never told you he was a genius.
Through his work.
Exactly.
What'd you say?
I said he never told you he was a genius. You just knew he was.
But shit, he didn't have to say a damn thing. All he had to do was just write the music and play fucking instruments. Hello. You know, so, I mean, talk to D'Angelo. You know, he'll tell you, you know, when I saw the video, and I know I'm veering, when I saw the video and I saw that brother on that video where he was playing every single instrument.
Yeah.
I was like, who this is? I went straight out and got his music. I'm like, okay, well, he's playing it all. He can do the bass, he can do the keys, he can do the drum. Who is this? But he patterned himself behind Prince.
Yeah.
And being multifaceted musician. You know. So, but anyway, I'm going to miss him, and I'm still reeling, you know, from the whole situation. It's, you know, it fucked my head up today.
I hear you. What's your favorite Prince song, Leslie?
Oh Jesus. Black Jesus.
That's a hard one, isn't it?
Research. Oh my gosh. Oh,
yeah,
good
that's
goddess,
a hard one.
good goddess. I can't even think. You know, I'm already manic and I'm already high, you know, high up. So, you know, I can't really, you know, the one you played, you know, I like the quirky, you know, stuff. You know, the quirky, you know, with all the flat notes. You know, I mean, you know, I like that stuff. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
I really don't know.
Well, today before he passed away, it was Lady Cab Driver for me today. Today now. Tomorrow it'll be another one.
I renamed that. And I dedicated it to, because I ride, you know, public transportation here in Texas, and I renamed the song Lady Bus Driver, Can You Take Me for a Ride? Do. Okay. All right. There you go. that's on my list too.
I hear you. Thanks for calling, Sister Leslie. I sure appreciate it.
Okay, all right, Brother Gabe. Thank you so much for listening. All right, love you too, brother. All the brothers. Y'all be cool. Stay up. Stay indigenous. Okay, all right.
We'll do. Peace.
Okay.
I believe we have another caller, Wade. Caller 9928. Caller 9928. Hello, you're on the air.
Hey, Gabe.
What's happening, Cleve? Cleve's our homeboy, Wade.
Oh, what's happening, man? What's happening, brother? Can y'all hear me?
How you feeling, Cleve? How you feeling, bro?
I'm fucked up right now. I ain't gonna lie about it.
I hear you, man.
Dude, she texts me, it was around 1, and she don't text me when she at work.
Right.
And she said, did you hear about Prince? And I looked at that and I'm like, you better not. I put Prince Rogers Nelson because I'm like, what Prince you talking about? I'm talking about our dog Prince. And I'm like, and I said to myself when I saw what she said, I said, you better not tell me Prince is dead. And I went downstairs, jumped on the computer. I'm like, you gotta be fucking shit. And man, my head started like, it's like, first, I put up a few posts and everything. Then my head started spinning, and it threw me for a loop because somebody posted a meme that had a picture of Sam Cooke, Michael, and Prince, and what all three of them have in common.
Right.
And Prince this is something, man, because I'm in the 35+ year fan club of Prince, so I'm not one of these fair weather that you could say, oh yeah, I like When Doves Cry. No.
Yeah, I know When Doves Cry, or Purple Rain, or any that came off the the Purple Rain soundtrack and they saw in the movie.
Right. Like when I was at this girl's house and she had a bunch of Prince albums, I'm like, you a Prince fan? I said, okay. I said, me too. She thought I was just messing with her. I'm like, okay. So I went to 1999, pulled out album side 4, past Lady Cab Driver, and played all the critics, and then my favorite in New York.
You know it.
And you talk about name a favorite Prince song. Like I said, I anything Prince, because there was a time where it was like whenever you put out, like when Prince put out an album, that was the album of the moment. You played everything on it. You loved all his other stuff, but that was the album because like when Controversy, that was the album of the moment. 1999, that was the moment. Purple Rain, album of the moment.
Album of the
Around
moment.
The world.
That's right.
I can't remember the one where Kiss and all that came out, but that was Under the Cherry Moon.
Under the Cherry Moon, baby.
Just how many times I went from Goldsboro to Raleigh when I was in college, my sophomore year, playing Sign of the Times. Dude, I mean, time.
Man, I was in college when that came out, and I wore that album out.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
Dude. But my favorite, I got a few favorite Prince beats that just get me every time. When he hits that funky bass in 777-9311.
311. Oh God.
That's
intro
one of the
and the
funkiest ever.
To Alphabet Street.
Not to mention that intro to Nasty Girl. That intro to Nasty Girl is just it's bananas.
Thank you.
Sick, man. Yeah, you're right, Greg. Sick.
Period is one of the nastiest grooves ever.
Which one?
The Nasty Girl groove. You can play that in the club right now.
And
kids that never heard it before, and the dance floor is full.
Yep. That song 34 years old.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Because, bro, it's like with Prince, it's like, I mean, you just listen to his stuff, and like Buck said, man, when he gets you with, we fight our own damn war, we don't want to fight. When he said that, I'm like, what album? Because I couldn't think of it. But
I couldn't either.
When you said Controversy, I'm like, no, it's not Controversy. And as soon as he said Dirty Mind, it came to mind. I'm like, Dirty Mind.
Yeah.
That's the last thought.
It was certainly during the Rude Boy phase. I know that. So but I just couldn't grasp it at the time. Yeah, I've been so I've been so transfixed on today. I was listening to For You and Prince. Because that For You album was slept on. Okay, we know about Soft and Wet, but he has some other great songs, and he was just finding his way musically. But when Sexy Dancer and I Want to Be Your Lover and my favorite, Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad off the Prince album, woo, boy, make your head pop off.
Yes, it is. And dude, it's like somebody showing pictures of him and Shaka Khan. He's escorting her. I'm like, people just don't realize why he did Shaka Khan's career, because he wrote her biggest hit. You know, she covered. I feel for you. That's yeah, definitely. That was on the album too. Yes, it was. I mean, yes, it was. Oh man, I had I used to take just not CDs. I'm tripping for. I used to take them cassette tapes. Cassettes, man. And I had, because my cousin had every Prince album. I went and I hit a quick dub on them hoes, and man, oh my God, dude, you have no idea what I'm feeling right now, man, because Prince was my dude. I'm telling you, man. I hear you. Like you said, Michael was the bigger artist when it came to the popularity and came to showmanship, pure artist. Because remember, I said this, Prince was a next phase artist. He was. He really was. He changed what was there, and he made it conform and fit what he wanted. He didn't just play some script, and that was it. And, you sound just like something. Exactly. He sounds like anybody. Hey guys, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to take a pause for the cause and come back, and we're going to continue this discussion. All things Prince tonight. Purify ourselves in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. We'll be back. Don't worry.
That was 1999 by Prince. I hear you singing, Wade, and I don't blame you. I was singing too. Trust me, I was singing, but I had it on mute because I can't sing. So
I should have had that on mute too.
You know, hey man, that is some of the freshest lyrics ever. Even today in 2016, the lyrics, you can't beat those lyrics. You can't beat those lyrics at all. They're just out of sight. Hey, let me ask you, Wade. Let me ask you real quick. We're gonna go to a caller, but I just want to. Well, let's go to caller first, and then I'll ask you. I believe we have caller 5654 on the line. Last four digits. Caller 5654. Hello, you're on the air.
Hi, Gabe. It's Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth. How are you doing, sister?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you feeling?
This show.
Oh yeah. Well, you convinced me, so I have to give you the credit. You know, you beat me over the head worse than a few other people did. You kind of like heart punched me there, so I said, okay. You know, yeah, okay, we need to do this. Let's do this. So thank you.
Yeah, we need to do this. But well, it's not about me. It's about the people. But the thing about the loss of Prince, and it's the same way I felt after. I know we don't want to compare Prince to Michael Jackson because they're two different artists. But for me, the gravitas of both of those artists, I mean, they mean so much to me equally in different ways because they were so much the soundtrack of my life.
Right.
And the sad part. Excuse me, these allergies in Philadelphia are crazy. But the sad of losing Prince, it makes me think there's no more music I mean, I love all the music that he has. I mean, I think the brother was talking about Sign of the Times, and I remember I learned all the words to that song, and I was just because I thought it was I think I was about 12 when that song came out, maybe 11 or 12. I was still in Catholic school, and the thought of a fat to skinny man died of a big disease with a little name by chance his girlfriend came across the needle, and it was so. As a writer and as a person who was, at the time, I was a young writer. I didn't even really know I was going to be a writer, but the lyrics really touched me. And I think that, you know, artists like Prince and Michael had such gravitas for those of us who grew up in the 80s and really, like, who were children in the 80s. I mean, you are much more sophisticated brother than I am. So by the time the 80s came around, you were grown and you were ready, but we were so little and so impressionable. And so, you know, I just remember, like, that was the music that really, like, if there was no Prince or no Michael Jackson or no even Madonna for a certain sense, like, we wouldn't have connected, we wouldn't have grown the way we did, we wouldn't have seen fashion the way we did, we wouldn't have seen the world the way we did. So losing him is just like losing a big piece of my childhood and of our lives. I mean, I think we were talking about, like, Maurice White is one thing.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Natalie Cole was one thing, but by the time I came around, those artists were important, and I remember hearing them. But I feel like I was one of those people that discovered. I feel like we discovered Prince with Prince, and every time there was a new Prince look, we were discovering it, and it was just a major part of the thing. Not to mention, I got my first slow jam to Adore, which, you know, that goes down in history as the best slow jam song of the week. But then there were things like Melissa Morgan and Do Me Baby. I mean, he wrote that. I mean, so many. Someone was telling me, we were talking today, if there had been no Prince, there would have been no Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, or there wouldn't have been no Janet Jackson. I mean, it was like Prince was the cornerstone of so much of our music, and without Prince, we wouldn't, or at least me and my friends and my clique, or the person that I became, we wouldn't have even formed into the people that we have become without him. So that just is slightly, you know, devastating without, you know, I mean, it sounds so deep, but it's like so and my baby sister loves Prince. Like, she flew to Minneapolis to see Prince. I mean, so the way that people, you know, just really fell for him. I mean, he was really true and honest, and he was a real artist. And I don't know if that form of artistry, excuse me, even exists anymore, and if we even still have that. Like, is it just gone forever? And so I think that this whole, like, it's like we were in the office, and I work in a predominantly white newsroom, and even the people there are even too old to really appreciate Prince. I mean, to them, Prince was like new music. At the time, you know how we kind of checked out a Lil Wayne. By then, they were checked out for Prince. So they've been checked out for the last 50 years. And so people are looking like, well, what's the big deal? And you're like, it's Prince. It's like we don't understand it's Prince, I mean, and so even and you're more of an expert on this, Gabe, and I'm sure Prince was such an original that people weren't really even able to cover his work. There's some like Michael Jackson. There's a lot of work that you would get with him, and people would cover it and make make their own versions or add it to hip hop. Prince was so amazing and so original that you can even like cover his work in a hip hop track. And I'm the hip hop generation, but I think that Prince was just so much more deeper. You know what I mean? He was just so. It's just like losing. It's losing a piece. For people who remember Prince and grew up with him, it's like really losing a piece of your soul. Like I felt when Maurice White went. I loved Earth, Wind, and Fire. I was sad. I felt that. When Whitney Houston died, I felt that. But Prince seems, Michael Jackson, I'm still not really convinced. We still, you and I talk about it all the time. It's like it's still hard to connect, to really grasp the fact that Michael's gone. And I wonder if Prince is sort of the same way, where you just feel like a piece of your soul and you realize that your mortality is kind of gone. So, I mean, I'm probably rambling, but I don't, it's the music.
Right now, all things considered, trust me, you're doing just fine.
I think it's the music, but it's so much deeper than, the music, because he was so influential to everything that we did. I mean, we didn't dress like Prince because I couldn't walk around looking like Apollonia. My mother would have killed me, but it was, and it's not like I even wanted to, but I just appreciate it. Like Sheila E., it's all that stuff is the stuff that you hear and you dance and you smile and you remember your youth and you feel really good, and it's just really, really, really like sad, and I don't know if you have any thoughts, and maybe it's the thoughts about, we talked about Prince, but what are your thoughts about? Do you think it's a coincidence that so many of our musical died in the last just since 2016 started?
No, I don't. But Wade, what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts personally?
No, I was asking Wade.
Oh, Wade, yeah.
Well, I was just thinking about the size of Prince's influence. When I think about his influence, when I think about what's America's greatest exports into the world, it's our music and our films. And when you look at our music, I mean, who's bigger than Prince, really?
Exactly.
This morning when you woke up, who was living that has been more impactful than Prince on music in the world that's breathing air every day? I mean, can you think of somebody else? Maybe Stevie Wonder, maybe. Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, Stevie, and that's really about it right now.
I'm just saying. I mean, Prince is huge. Prince was such a big influence on me that I stopped listening to Prince when I started making my own records for a while, just because I didn't want to sound like Prince, because I loved him too much. Almost, for the same reason that Miles Davis stopped playing ballads, because you love him too much. You have to do something else in order to grow.
Exactly.
Fortunately, I found my voice. I can listen to Prince now because I love him so, and like you said, he influenced so much. I mean, you think about it, Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson's career is because Prince wrote an album of music that, that he called, The Time. Became the time.
Yeah, it became the time. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you got Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis. They're producing Janet Jackson's record.
Right.
I mean, the stuff he wrote for Sheena Easton, the stuff he wrote. I mean, you think about The Family. You think about Apollonia. You think about Vanity.
The Family, Apollonia.
You think about Maserati. You think about Jesse Johnson, Des Dickerson. You know, I mean, it goes on and on and on and on and on. And Andre Simone, exactly. And all of those people are great, you know, or have careers. Sheila E. You know, that have careers that go beyond, you know, that, and they touched lives.
Exactly.
And they touched lives. Sheila E. went to find, you know, she discovered Tony.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
exactly.
I mean, it just goes on and on and on.
It goes on and on and on, bro. It goes on. I believe we have another call on the line. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's my main man and co-host, Michael Hampton. What's going on, Mike?
How's it going, Gabe? How's it going, Gabe?
It goes, brother. It goes. It's going a little bit better right now, you know, considering because we're vibing and we're talking about Prince and kind of escaping from the reality of his passing. What's on your mind, brother?
Well, how's it going, Brother Wade?
Going, you know, all things considered, you know, we you know, we got, you know, it's a sad day for us, you know, eternal Prince.
Sad day for music. Yeah, it sure is, man. What's on your mind, brother?
I'm not trying to make any enemies, man, but Mike was my boy. But
when
Prince came along, man, the first song, I believe, was I Want to Be Your Lover. I thought it was a female. I really did. Until I saw him on American Bandstand when that was going on. That's how far we go back, you know. But at the time, I was putting him on the verge of Sylvester. And Sylvester was actually gay up his ass.
Yeah,
he was a
Sylvester
gay.
was a queen.
Was a good vocalist. Yeah.
Actually a great vocalist. A great vocalist, yes.
But, you know, if I go to a slow tune, I got to give up to Prince, man. I just like, you know, How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore? I just love that, man, you know, with the piano work and everything, man, the chords and all, you know, because I consider myself a musician, so I know what I'm talking about. But all around, Prince was a giant in musicianship, you know, but I just really like that, man, because in that time, I thought I was in love. So How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore? I take to that, and I thought I was a player, so I like Prince International Lovers, you know. I was in Job Corps at the time, 16, so shout out to Prince, man. May he rest in peace, you know. So,
thanks so much, Mike. Brother. Thanks so much, Mike. I appreciate that, and I want to thank Elizabeth for calling as well, and my producer, Madam G, says hello, Elizabeth, and see you next week for our show next week. Looking forward to it. I believe we have another caller on. Last four digits 2811. Caller 2811. Hello, you're on the air.
Hello, this is Lisa Michelle. How are you?
Hi, Lisa. How are you doing?
I'm excellent. I'm at work, and I took time to call in because I knew you all were going to be talking about Prince, and I'm really sad.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we all are. We all are. What's on your mind, sister?
My concert, because I'll be 50 in September. My first concert was Prince Time in Vanity 6.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was way back when, and I remember it being a really, really thick cloud of smoke, you know, 420 smoke up over the air. It was great. I don't smoke myself, you know, but I said, you know, when I retire one day, I'm going to join up with the crew.
There you go. That's how you do it. That's how you get it done.
And I got a favorite song of him is Red Corvette.
Little Red Corvette, huh?
I like that
one. You know, that is one of the most lyrically clever songs that you will ever hear. You know, a lot of people to this day, still don't get the lyrics of that song. Can you believe that, Wade?
No, I can't believe that.
It's clever.
Yeah,
that song is
it's pretty clear.
It's pretty clear.
It's pretty clear.
It's pretty clear.
They weren't flipping it up and rubbing it down back then. You know, they went around the corner with it. They weren't all in your face like they are now in music. You know. So.
Well, you know, back then, we want like stuck to each other like Velcro paper when we danced. We actually danced back then. You had to earn that grind on. Yeah, there you go. You had to earn that grind.
Yeah.
When's the last time you heard a metaphor in a song?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, later after the after party. Yeah.
Oh.
I got a question also.
Sure.
Have you gotten a decent story by now about what happened to him? Because I heard he didn't get his medicine from him, and he was on the elevator, he passed out.
Right. It's forming together, and I'm not surprised that they're saying that he overdosed. I'm not surprised at all, considering what's at stake. Again, you're talking about, Prince he pretty much gained his catalog back, his entire catalog worth about $2 billion that Warner Brothers had to fork over to him, reluctantly, by the way, because they fought it tooth and nail. Let's just say that I don't think that Prince, a man, again, who was fanatical about what he put into his body, fanatical about what type of foods he ate, I don't think that he would be one to overdose, like talking about it. I don't see that, but time will tell. I'm certainly going to keep my antennas up, and I'm certainly going to, do my own in research. Some things you just can't let go. Some things you just can't dismiss because the media tells you this happened or that happened. And I'm one of those individuals that when the media tells me A, I look for B. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's just like walking blind, if you don't believe something everybody says. Go do your research. That's what Madam Gigi always says. Go do your research.
Yeah, yes, she does.
Yeah, she does.
She does.
Playing.
She ain't playing at all. She ain't playing. That's why I love her.
Somebody told you, you're going to believe that? Somebody going to knock you upside the head. You're going to believe that you hurt? Go check it out.
Woman after my own heart. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So, hey, I appreciate you so much for calling in, Lisa. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I called on my little 30-minute break, so I'm gonna go on back and finish my little food I got.
I hear you. But
I want to give pay tribute to Prince, and then call in your shows.
And I sure appreciate it. Thank you so much, sister.
You're so welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, here's the deal, people. Here's why we hurt when Michael Jackson passes away, and when James Brown passes away, and when Maurice White passes away, and when the day comes that Sly will pass away and that Stevie will pass away, when Marvin passed away, and now Prince. Understand that in America, all right, our royalty, all right, our kings and queens are music artists. We control music. We literally control music. And today, a king died. A king of kings died. One who's on the higher echelon of the throne, and he's gone. All right? And so, for us, I'm not, for me, a king ain't Al Sharpton or anybody, or Barack Obama. He ain't a king to me either. He's more like a pauper to me. He's a jester. But for me, Prince was a king. Michael Jackson was a king. Marvin Gaye was a king. They were royalty. You didn't tell them what to do. They did what they wanted to do. And, Sam Cooke was a king. Shaka Khan is a queen. Whitney Houston was a queen, and we, when we lose our kings and queens, it hurts. It hurts. Hey, real quick, Wade, let me ask you. Okay, let me ask you real quick, and then we'll take a caller. Hey, man, how did Prince do that drum beat in 777-9311, man? That's the coldest, man, to this day. I know drummers to this day who they can't duplicate it. I don't know of any drummer that can't. I talked to Jelly Bean Johnson, who's supposedly gotten credit for doing it, and he can't do it either.
There's a device invented by Mr. Roger Lynn called the Lynn.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's what 777-9311 is from. But I honestly do know a few drummers that can play it.
Whew.
And
I do
know a few that can play it. And it's a wonderful thing when it's done right. That pocket on that song, that's one of the deepest grooves ever. Ever, man. Just so high. But actually, Jelly Bean can do it now. Today, he can do it. He's actually mastered it. Yeah. Right. It was created on the drum machine, but you're right. Jelly Bean plays it now. But, man, that was so bad.
I mean, badass, man. I mean, badass.
People don't realize how bad Prince was. You know what you just said about Kings and being in the upper echelon? Yes, that's where he, Miles. I saw a quote on Facebook that Vince Wilburn posted. Miles Davis's nephew. He says, and it had a picture of Miles and his quote saying that Prince is probably the Ellington of pop music.
Wow, that's actually very accurate.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. That's actually, and he's ranked 27 all time by Rolling Stone magazine, the top artist ever. He's ranked 27. Let that sink in. 27. Okay, we have a caller. Caller last 4 digits. Caller 1301. Caller 1301. Hello, you're on the air.
Yeah, I just want to say Purple Rain was my favorite. I mean, wow. It just seemed like that song was never going to end. It's like the longer it went, the more it touched your soul. But I think when the Negro put the soul to the strings, it became something else. All white people could do was grab the guitar, grab the strings, and just break shit and scream. When he put his soul to it, it was something different. But for me, I consider Prince the greatest rocker of all time, singing, dancing, and playing the strings. It ain't.
Yeah.
Bring me a rocker that's better than that. Prince is the best. That's all I got to say.
Hey, great comment, brother. Great comment. I'm not going to debate you on that one. Hard to beat it. Hey, let me ask you, Wade. In terms of Prince's musicianship, all right. What would you, in terms of him being a guitarist, who would you compare him most likely to? Would you compare him most likely to Hendrix? Because a lot of people do. I don't see Hendrix or hear Hendrix when I hear him. He looked like him in Purple Rain because Purple Rain is nothing more than Purple Haze Fade, But
well, he was influenced by Hendrix, but not. Hendrix is not the center of his playing. I'd say he's more influenced by like Freddie Stone from Sly's band. Right.
Carlos Santana as well.
Carlos, especially his lead playing. You're right.
Right.
He's smooth like Carlos. He's not as. He didn't have the. Well, it's not even that he didn't have. It was his note choice was different than Jimmy.
Right.
So you're right. He's definitely smoother like Carlos. And he's a lot. What's that cat's name? Steve. The guy that played with. The guy. He's got an Ibanez guitar design after him. He played with David Lee Roth after Roth left Van Halen. I can't think of his name right now. But, been to his house. Can't think of his name.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about too, bro. Right now, I couldn't even remember the song. Go ahead.
He says Prince is his favorite guitarist, and he's a guitar hero. He's like, a lot of guitarists love Prince. I love the early Prince guitar stuff back when he was playing the Horner Telly.
Yes.
That stuff is so funky, and his tone is so clean and so beautiful. People, I think Prince is underappreciated as an instrumentalist. He plays piano very, very well. He plays the drums very, very well.
Very, very well.
I don't know if you've had a chance to listen to some of the B-sides or some of the pirate tapes, but like Colleen Bacon-Skin and all that kind of stuff. Colleen Bacon-Skin. That's just Prince. It's so stanky, funky. His pocket is so deep. Prince is influenced by James Brown, Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Miles
Davis,
Sly Stone. You hear all that in his music and beyond.
Yeah.
Because he was, he took that whole synth thing and embraced it and gave us something new. And we're gonna be forever grateful for him. And the deal is, Prince is getting ready to be more popular than ever now. It's kind of trippy when I think about it, because I think about how big he was, and I think about the amount of time that's passed and how people are embracing the 80s thing and how, beyond that he was. But, they're really going to start listening to the stuff that he did at his zenith again, and people are gonna realize who he is. Yeah, I think a lot of the reason people don't talk about him as much is because of what you said earlier about his material not being so readily available for free online.
Exactly.
You know, if it was like everything else, you know, of course they would maybe get it more, but Prince is going to be in their face, and they're going to get it. You don't need a high dose of Prince for it to work on you, you know?
True.
It just works.
True. Very true. It just, man. You know, the thing about Prince is, you're right, he's underrated because he was so talented on all instruments that he played, right, that people can say that he didn't master any. But I have seen shows, particularly recently shows, where there's one in particular where he's on stage with Jeff Lynne. He's on stage with, the guitarist is Steve Hunter, by the way. That's the artist that you were talking about, right? Thanks for Madam G for that, for giving us that tidbit, because we totally brain farted on that one.
I brought it up and was like, and it was,
No, I do it all the time, boy. Smoking all that reefer in the 80s has dried my mind out.
Well, you know, it's only 421, so there you go. What you want me to say? Still a musician.
Now, here's the deal, people. Okay, now, but this is from Billboard. Okay, Prince gains his catalog and landmark deal with Warner Brothers, and he had a new album coming, right? So basically, he returned to Warner Brothers Records after 18 years of the deal would see him regain ownership of his catalog. And, of course, all of his classic albums will continue to be licensed through Warner Brothers, but he has the masters. He pretty much got all of his music, and it took Prince years to get this done. You know, it took Prince
false.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so here it is. He's about to get pretty much, you know, all of his catalog back, everything back, and then he up and dies. All right, let's see. Here's one about what's in Prince's secret vault. All right, the music that he has in his secret vault. And of course, you and I both know Prince could make an album in a night, and often made several albums.
Well, I remember reading, 15 years ago that his goal was to write a song a day.
Right. Right.
If you're writing a song a day, let's say you only get a third of the way there. You only write a song once every 3 days. How many albums is that by now?
Thank you.
And it's the difference between, and everybody talks about, like, and I hate to bring this cat up because I hate to get in that crowd of people that are hating on him, because I'm not really trying to hate on him. Kanye, I'm not trying to hate on him, but what I'm saying is,
he ain't shit. I'm like Sister Leslie. He ain't shit. But okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Well, I can't honestly disagree with you, but
no one who knows music can, Wade.
But I'm just saying, there's a difference between, being able to copy and paste real well.
Yeah, thank you.
And walking into a room, and not going, okay, what's my source material?
Right.
You don't. I'm sorry. There's a difference between looking through album stacks for source material and pulling that shit out your ass on a guitar or piano, and and a set of drums, and just creating that out of the ether. Sticking your antenna up and letting that come through. Instead of using source material and going something that's great before you touch it, and you figure out a way to make it great in a different way. That's different.
Thank you. That's extremely different.
I'm sorry, and I say that with no disrespect to those who do that, because I understand that's a different talent. But having said that, it is not the same. It's not the same thing. It's just not. I'm not saying that there's not room in this world for both. I'm just saying that you can compare Kanye West and Prince, but there's no comparison.
None. None.
None.
None.
They don't need to come up in the same conversation, really, and I apologize for doing that.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you,
I'm
man.
Just saying,
I hear you.
We don't do, like Prince said of Christopher Tracy, those kind of cars don't pass you every day. And it'll be a long time before another one passes. I promise you that.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to thank everybody for listening. We're taking a ride down Alphabet Street with Prince tonight. We're purifying ourselves in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. We are going to party like it's 1999.
We love sexy, baby.
Exactly. We are love sexy, baby. We are doing it all tonight in honor of Prince, Music King, who's gone much too soon, 57 years old, relatively still a young man, middle-aged, didn't even look his age, by the way. I want everybody to tune in Monday for Yesterday's Problems, Today's Issues, and Tomorrow's Future with Michael Hampton, and I'm his co-host. Our guest will be Wanda Merrill, and Wanda is an activist who will be breaking it down on what's going on in the St. Louis area, St. Louis, Missouri area, Ferguson area. She's all too familiar with that, and it's going to be a great show. She's got a lot on her mind, and she's ready to share it all with you. So tune into that show. And on Tuesdays, African Americans Ain't Africans with Buck Wylam. Buck got me tonight. He got me tonight with that one. My mind was in another place. But I'm going to bring up one for you, Buck, and see if you can catch that one. Just give me a minute, bro. But that's Tuesday nights, African Americans Ain't Africans with Buck Wylam, the indigenous one. And Rick Moon is always somewhere around. Wednesday nights, it is the Mocha Masseuse Talk Back with my queen, Niecy Lachelle, and her co-host, Thug Angel. It's going to be a great topic. Not sure what it is yet, but I know it's going to be a great topic. The last 2 weeks have been really wonderful topics that she's brought forth to everyone. So I hope everyone tunes in on Blog Talk Radio, the Ghetto Truth Magazine, Blog Talk Radio. Look it up anytime you get a chance. Blog Talk Radio / the Ghetto Truth Magazine, and you can check out all the shows. We've got about close to a little less than 30 minutes left. And there's a lot of Prince to talk about, to be honest with you. I got to ask you, Wade, how many times have you seen Prince perform?
I'd say not as many as I'd like, probably 4 or 5 times.
That's all of us,
and I absolutely love him, I thought his live show was unbelievable, and I was I'm always taking mental notes when I watch performers, because I feel like you have, everybody, you learn from folks. There was so much to learn from him. He, like I said earlier, I patterned myself after him when I was younger, and I had to decisively and purposefully step away from it because I loved it so. So he's like one of the foundational blocks for me. He and Michael when I was younger, because Michael was a Jackson 5, And so when I was a kid, it was all about Michael. When I got into high school, it was all about Prince. And so, and that carried through probably for another 20 years, almost. So, I can't say enough about the man. Loved his music. I have friends that played with him. His impact on my life, he told me that without speaking directly to me, but just by example, that, you can play rock music. You can incorporate different styles into who you are, that you are not defined by what's expected, And, he taught me that just by making another record. It sounded nothing like the last record. You're defined by the way you define yourself, not by what people expect you to do, by who you decide to be, and by what you do. And that's empowering. And
True that.
I owe him a debt of gratitude,
Yeah.
Music is beautiful.
Yeah.
Brother is brilliant genius.
He walked his own funky path, no doubt about it. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to go to one of Prince's choice cuts. It's certainly one that got me aware of him, Soft and Wet. which is still one of my favorites. Check out the Sly Stone influence in this song, people. It's funky. We'll be right back to the Rich Report. Yeah. Woo! That's hot. That's hot. That's the one, people, that got me hooked on Prince. I was, I don't see how old I was, teenager, going into teenage phase, just starting to go out. I was 12. I was actually 12, just starting to go out, go to the teen dances and all that, dance with the girls. And I remember this song like it was yesterday. When my brother and I first heard it, we were at W.A. Foster Center Jam. It was one of the jams at W.A. Foster Center, which I'm quite sure you know a bit about, Wade. And we heard that, and the next day we went to the record rack downtown and bought the album because we weren't buying 45s back then. We were buying albums. So $7.99. I remember it like it was yesterday. That was my first Prince album me and my brother got, and of course we collected all the rest after that. Hey, I want to thank the people on chat. Let's see. If I'm not mistaken, Clee asked, are you talking about Michael Anthony from Van Halen or Eddie Van Halen? We were talking about Steve Hunter, Clee, and thank you for that, because I forgot about Michael Anthony. I totally forgot about it. But right now, you have to forgive me. I'm a little kind of distracted. Hi, Rosalind. Rosmick said, hi, Gabriel. This is a great show. Thank you, Rosalind. I thank you so much for your comment. Hey, I got to tell you, my spirits have picked up considerably since the start of the show, because when I started it, I was at a loss for words, and I didn't really know how to put into words how I felt about Prince's passing. But again, I don't think that Prince Rogers Nelson would want us to, necessarily be down. He left a lot of positive material for us to listen to, really for the rest of our lives. He actually left a guide. He left a map, if you will. And if you go back and you check out his entire catalog, you'll understand what I'm talking about. you'll understand everything. So, what can I say other than it's tough that we lost a music royalty. We lost a king. But he's not dead in the sense that his music will always be with us. And, I know for a fact that I'll always be checking for Prince. I check for Prince all the time anyway, so it's nothing new will come from this experience. It's like when Michael Jackson died, I was always listening to Michael's music anyway. I always listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire. I listen to Natalie Cole, every so often. I listen to Whitney Houston every so often. I listen to, all these great artists who are no longer with us. Marvin Gaye is required listening. So, Miles Davis is required listening. So they're not gone per se because they left a legacy of music behind, but still it hurts. What were you about to say, Wade?
I said you are preaching. You are telling the truth. These legacy artists, are the true great ones. To be honest with you, it's there's a certain amount of artistry or artisanship that that's no longer required because of modern tools.
Yes.
Whether you're building a house or building a song, and that skill set is dying with those artists, and on some level, and it's sad, but it's just a passage of time. Nothing to do about it. We try to pass those skills along, to the ones that are coming up. But it's so sad to see the truly great ones, that we've had the pleasure of experiencing in our lifetime leave this planet.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. It really is. Again, for us in our community, people like this, they are our royalty. And it hurts when they leave us, and it hurts even more when they leave under suspicious circumstances, which pisses me off more than it hurts. It really pisses me off, because people are leaving too soon when they don't necessarily have to leave. Now, I'm not suggesting necessarily it's saying that this is what happened. I am saying that my antennas are up, and I will be checking in on this one. I just won't let it ride. That's just me, got to see it out. I believe we have a caller on the line. Last four digits, 1722. Caller 1722. Hello, you're on the air.
This is Madam Gigi. I wanted to quickly share my Prince memory. I was a late bloomer with Prince because being involved in the church house, so I was not listening to any type of secular music. For some reason, I got a hold to the movie Purple Rain and fell in love with the song. The music is, I don't know, every time I hear it, it just sends chills right through my soul. And the riffs of the guitars and everything, the strings, everything is absolutely wonderful. I love it. So I'm a late bloomer, and like you said, it's not like a wake or anything. This is an awakening, like the sister said in chat, for us to start creating our music. Wade 3, you're a musician. It's time for us to step forward and do it today, because they're taking out the great ones. We already see it, but I'm going to say this. We're going to party like it's infinity. How about that?
I like it.
That'll do it. Hey, I'm going to tell you, here's the difference. This is where Prince is so influential. I think Wade can relate. I think Buck can relate. I think Michael can relate. We're all in the same age group. I think Niecy can relate if she's listening. Anybody who's in the 50 range, late 40s, 50 range, you start listening to Prince when you're a kid. You're a teenager, about to be, going into the teenage stage. But by the mid-'80s, you're listening to, you do as a kid, you act as a kid when you're first listening to him. But by the mid-'80s, you're a teenager, your hormones are raging. By the late 80s, you're grown, and you are shagging the Prince music, all right? And they ain't nothing like a good piece of sex on to Do Me Baby. Ain't nothing like it on a humid day.
That was a deal closer.
Hello, Gabe, wait.
Yeah.
I had another question. It's Michael again.
Okay, what's up, Mike?
Questions. I came in kind of late at the start of the show, and I just want some clarity with Prince not participating in We Are the World. And my question is, did Prince have any impact on Morris Day? I mean, how did that come about? I'm not clear about it, and I heard so much controversy about why Prince wasn't involved in We Are the World, and he wanted to just send in a track of his guitar work, and Quincy saying, no, that won't do it. We need you here physically. So clear that up for me.
Wade, you got any insight on that? Appreciate it, Mike.
Okay.
Well, to be honest, that one I did hear about a long time ago, but it hasn't. You might know more about it than I do at this particular moment, because I don't remember what it was, to be honest with you.
Right. Well, if you know, they came up with the whole USA for Africa thing after the Grammys, I believe it was.
Right. No, it was American Music Awards.
American Music Awards. There you go. It was the American Music Awards. They came up with the whole USA for Africa.
A&M Studios. They started that over at Yeah.
Right. But Prince had been talking about that for quite some time. And if you go back and you check Prince's music, he always had social messages in his music, even at that time. He put out some nasty stuff, but at the same time, or he put out some sexy stuff, but at the same time, he also had. What's that?
His music was 360 degrees of humanity. So
Exactly.
It had sexuality, it had sensuality, it had, consciousness, it had, any direction that you would look mentally, he had music that reflected that. It wasn't like he just did one thing. It was like, this is who I am, and his music just reflected that. But go ahead, man.
Exactly. But Prince had came up with the idea even before then. They just enacted it after the American Music Awards. Prince, like you say, he wasn't there. He wanted to contribute and actually was willing to fly, because he wasn't far away, actually. He was willing to fly and get it done. But Quincy pretty much held him off. Quincy's a image guy, and Quincy was one that he thought Prince was too nasty, to be involved with the likes of Bruce Springsteen and be involved with the likes of, all these other guys. And he pretty much, he kind of just nudged Prince out of the picture.
That's funny, because I forget how controversial Prince was at the time.
Right.
Because things have changed so much. And when you think about it, when you think about like that, Prince is the reason that you have the labels on the records now. It was you got the look. So you're right. Prince was controversial, whatever that means. Prince
whatever that meant to them.
Real artistry is always controversial. That's why artists get killed first when dictators take over.
Very much so. And to answer your question about Morris Day, Prince had a very big influence on Morris. I mean, they grew up together.
That one I know a little bit more about.
Go get him. Have at it.
Okay. That First Time record is basically, if you listen to that First Time record, you hear Prince's voice in it. That's Prince playing on most of that stuff.
Most all of it,
exactly. That First Time record is basically a Prince record as an alter ego type of band.
Jamie Starr.
He decided that it should be a band in its own entity and have a life of its own. So Prince literally birthed the Time.
He literally did, and actually the first two albums, because even What Time Is It? Even that's Prince. Most of all of that's Prince as well.
That's true.
And he went under the guise of Jamie Starr, if you remember. He was Jamie Starr.
I remember. Jamie Starr.
But Jamie Starr was Prince. And that's why he says in DMSR, Dance Music Sex Romance, he says Jamie Starr's a thief.
Starr's a thief.
Right.
It's time to set your watch.
Your clock, yeah.
Vanity 6 is so sweet.
So sweet. Now you can all take a bite of my purple rock. Can we stop? Yeah. So, and Mars, actually, they were in a band together. Mars was a drummer, and they were in a band together. They knew each other, grew up together. Right. Mars Day, Andre Simone, who Prince used to live with, who went to go live with after him and his parents fell out. Him and Andre were like best friends. Mars was in their band as well. So they all knew each other. So basically what Prince did was he put Mars on because it was Prince and Mars Day, and and that was the time, if you will. But the time they acquitted themselves very nicely, I must say, especially in the live shows. What happened was the time actually got to be better than the Revolution at one point. They were pushing the hell out of the Revolution.
Well, I think that I agree with you. I think the time had, the time was a funk band. It was a modern funk band, and the Revolution at the time was not, the grooves were not as deep as that. They were more pop grooves.
Right, exactly.
And so that puts you at a distinct disadvantage when it comes to just grooving the hell out of people at your show.
Thank you. And like you said, the time was Prince's alter ego, so that band was really, really, really funky, whereas his band was really more like pop synth grooves and things of that nature. And also, a lot of people,
time was in town.
Right. A lot of people might not know that Alexander O'Neal was actually the original lead singer of the time, and they were called Flight Time at the time. The band was called Flight Time. Alexander O'Neal was the actual real singer. He had actually moved from Chicago
Jimmy Johnson and Jesse, and that's the name of the publishing company.
Right. Exactly. And they were called Flight Time. Alexander O'Neal moved from Chicago to Minneapolis. He had already created a buzz, in his own right, and him and Prince had a disagreement, and it fell out, and Prince pretty much fired him. That's generally how it goes. So, but, when Jimmy Jam and after he fired Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis for being late to a gig because they were producing the SOS band, they reached back and they got Alexander O'Neal, and the rest is history for Alex 5000. So, like you said, and the deal about Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, they kept that Minneapolis sound going. Okay, we know that the first time in the album and the second time isn't them, right, in the studio. But even when they became producers, they kept that sound going. They helped to pretty much expand Prince's Minneapolis sound. So that's how influential. Yeah, exactly. So that's how influential Prince is even in the sense of, okay, he fired their ass, but when they started producing, they took his sound and they made their own sound out of the Minneapolis sound and created a new sound that is, clearly Prince influenced. That is the beauty. That is the beauty of
exactly right.
Right. Exactly. So,
and it influenced other, it's a trip because you just reminded me of something about the way that sound grew and we named a lot of the groups that were directly influenced, but I mean, no one has mentioned Ready for the World.
Exactly.
And you can't tell me that Ready for the World was not influenced by that Minneapolis sound.
You know they were.
The sound you're talking about. The Minneapolis sound became
Minneapolis sound, and they're in Michigan. They're from Flint, Michigan, so they're not too far away anyway. But you could definitely tell Ready. I mean, the Jerry curls, the time type outfits that Ready for the World. But honestly, their music was grooving. I have Ready for the World stuff, and I have to tell you, I listen to it often. So, definitely the influence of Prince. Exactly. Hey. Hey, slide over, boy. I tell you, ain't nothing like shagging to slide over on a hot, humid day. I'm here to tell y'all right now. So, yeah. Hey, I want to thank everyone for calling in. Yeah, really. I want to thank everyone for calling in.
The time you talking about, If you couldn't close the deal with Do Me Baby or International
you were a virgin. If you couldn't close the deal,
it wasn't
no.
close.
No. If you couldn't close the deal with Do Me Baby back in the day, you probably had a sock hand puppet that you used often. That you talk to quite often.
Bless your heart.
Do Me Baby just it did it. Do Me Baby, International Lover. I mean, we can go on and on of the classic Come Hither. Yeah, of the classic Come Hither panty dropper songs that Prince made. We can go on and on and on and on and on about it. Even the fast ones like Hot Thing.
Master of the seductive ballad. He was the absolute grand master of all time of the
all time with that. All time with it.
That Do Me Baby Do Me Baby is ridiculous.
Ridiculous. And when he says, "I'm so cold, hold me." Oh yeah, you know damn well you wanted to. Hey, really quick, we have a caller. Last one did is 0435. Caller 0435. Hello, you're on the air.
Yeah, man. Y'all sick, man. Y'all really sick because y'all just telling me everything. But I tell you, y'all telling the truth. And the fact of the matter is this, man. I saw the video with Prince, Michael, and James Brown on stage. And
I saw that one.
They metaphysically,
that's great.
Even in the Under the Cherry Moon, he said Tracy died after a long fought civil war.
Right.
And sometimes it snows in April, so I'm looking for the snow. I'm looking at the full moon that's about to come on us on a cherry moon. It's very fitting. I appreciate what you brothers and sisters are doing on this network. God bless.
I appreciate it, brother. I really appreciate it. I want to thank everyone for calling in. I want to thank everyone that was on chat. We just, we had at least 2 hours isn't enough time to discuss everything Prince. I mean, we need 2 days, really. And, probably nonstop 2 days because I can go on and on, even about that James Brown, Michael Jackson show in 88 after James Brown had, was either 88, I think so. This was after James had got out of prison. And, we could go on about that. That was an interesting tidbit, too. But that's another one. But I want to thank everyone. We've got about maybe 2 minutes left, so we're gonna go to the cherry moon. We're gonna be under the cherry moon tonight. And again, I want to thank my guest Wade for coming on. Thanks a lot, Wade. I really appreciate everything. And for all you Prince fans,
I got nothing but love for you, brother.
Nothing but love back, brother. For all you Prince fans, for all of you, all of you who understand what we're experiencing, what we're going through, I want to thank all of you. And just remember that, okay, the body's gone, the physical form is gone, but the spirit still lives. He's just transitioned on, and his music is here for us if we choose to listen to it. And it is a map. It is a guide. There was more to Prince than meets the eye. He was a transformer if there ever was one. So thanks to everyone for listening. We'll be back next week with our regularly scheduled program. And peace out, everyone, and much love. The Rich Report. Peace.
T-Mobile's unlimited plan costs $95 per month for a smaller network, plus monthly taxes and fees. It's enough to wreck your day. Cricket's unlimited plan gives you a bigger network for $25 less per month, with monthly taxes and fees included. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
Download speeds max of 8 megabits per second LTE and 4 megabits per second 4G. Price comparison based on one smartphone line with unlimited plan. Mobile hotspot not available. Activation, other fees and restrictions apply. Coverage not available everywhere. Terms, features, and restrictions subject to change. See store for details.